Hello, we have a breaking news from Burkina Faso. The reports that are coming out from Burkina Faso shows that there was an emergency landing of the Nigerian war jet in the western part of Burkina Faso in Bobo Dioulasso. So, according to Burkina Faso, this jet was flying in the airspace of Burkina Faso without permission, and there were 9 people in it, all of them military officers. Here is the news. It's not a detailed one. We try to bring you as soon as we have it. It just says a Nigerian Air Force plane made an emergency landing in Burkina's Bobo Dioulasso, flying without permission. There were 9 passengers and 2 crew members on board, all military personnel. That's what we have now. The interesting thing is that, on December, let me just tell you this. On December 6th, on Saturday, in Niger State, there's a part where it's called Niger State in Nigeria. There was an airplane, Air Force airplane of Nigeria flying there. It crashed, but luckily 2 of its pilots managed to escape the accident. I mean, they were trying to they were out before the fire started. And then on December 7, on Sunday, the Nigerian Air Force airplane was sent to the airspace of Benin in the name of intervention to foil the coup that happened for 12 hours in Benin. Now today, on December 8th, a Nigerian war jet having or carrying 7 military officers is flying in the airspace of Burkina Faso without permission. And it landed on emergency. Now, the questions are, first of all, was it by the authorities in Burkina Faso that it was forced to land? Number one. Number two, was it, while flying in the airspace of Burkina Faso, emergency happened and, they just landed in Burkina Faso? That is question number two. So all these needs to be answered, and we all have to wait the details coming out either from Burkina Faso or from Nigeria. But what we can say from this consecutive 3 days event is that the Nigerian Air Force, or in general, the Nigerian military, is into something. Yesterday, they intervened the airspace of Benin with the French government support, okay? Although Macron put it at his request, meaning at Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria's request, but this was backed by the French government, and it was a Nigerian Air Force that was controlling the Benin airspace. And today, having this emergency landing in Burkina Faso, what is going on? What is Nigeria up to? What are they trying to do? This is really, really, we already were talking about the impact of Nigeria's intervention in Benin, what it means in collaboration with the French government, what it means for the region. That is huge, because we haven't seen any emergency meeting between Nigeria and the rest of ECOWAS member states. We haven't seen any. It just happened with one phone call that Macron posted on his post on X platform, that he has had a talk or a phone conversation with Bola Tinubu, and then in less than an hour, Nigerian Air Force was in the airspace of Benin. And now, actually, as we speak, there were ground forces were also deployed by ECOWAS after that happened. So Bola Tinubu is into something. I mean, and Bola Tinubu and Macron are into something. Macron, he has lost in this previous French colonial African states, Western African states like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and they want to do something. Just like now they thwarted the coup in Benin, they are perhaps trying to thwart the coup. I mean, I don't think that will happen, but because the coup in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger is something backed by the people of Mali, Malians, Nigerians, and the Burkinabes. So I really don't know what is going to happen next, because there is a huge plan. I mean, Benin and Ivory Coast are the right hand of French government. This is why Macron has engaged himself immediately with Bola Tinubu, because he cannot afford to another military government, Benin, because Benin is where they are brewing these terrorists, training them and sending them in the territories of the Sahel states to fight this government, Captain Ibrahim Traore, General Abdurrahman Tihani, and Colonel Asim Goita. So he cannot lose that. And he's using now Nigeria. I mean, the rest of them are also Trojan forces. Now, let me just share this with you. Look at this. Now, the ground forces are composed of, let me see if this one shows us. Yeah, I don't know, not this one, but there are three countries: Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and Ghana. These are the countries that are contributing ground forces to send to Benin. So this is, yeah, this is a bit scary. I really wait from the Burkina Faso government. I'm sure they are also well aware how the media gets manipulated. So before Nigeria or the French government go out and say something, they have to own the narrative and tell the people really what happened. Hello, greetings, Anton Dalema. So now this is interesting, definitely interesting, really, that we need to keep an eye. Curious how exactly. Exactly. I am very, very curious, really, what will come out. Even I took like 45 minutes just waiting if I can get any detail before I come and stream this with you. Let me tell you a quick, interesting story. Back in May, there was the same thing, an emergency landing of a Nigerian warplane in Burkina Faso. And here's a story. Look, the ultimatum the Burkina Faso government gave this Nigerian warplane ultimatum of 5 hours to leave the country. And then the Nigerian government gave it itself a 24-hour, although there's the one who breached the airspace of Burkina Faso, a 24-hour ultimatum to Burkina Faso government for the military government to go away, to leave power. So they have courage even to do that. So this is not really an emergency thing. It's there after something. So when the whole world is, or Africans are watching Benin, so maybe they're trying to do, thinking of what they're successful in Benin, so they might think that they're going to be successful also in Burkina Faso. Man, I'm just, Nigeria, you Nigerians, my Niger people, please tell your president to stay away from the affairs of the Sahel states. Otherwise, this will backfire on Bola Tinubu himself. Georgia Sonor says, I'm starting to think that the coup was to bait the AES into intervening, which would give NATO or West the license to attack IES because the terrorists are not working. Yeah, you have a good point. Yeah. It's very interesting. Anyway, I will keep an eye on this, and whenever we have a detail from the Burkinabe government, then we will share with you. Yeah, that's all what I can do. It's very, very interesting and worrisome at the same time, Yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Bye bye.